Have you ever wondered what causes great empires to fall? It's a question that has puzzled historians for centuries. From the Roman Empire to the Soviet Union, history is littered with the ruins of once mighty powers. But what if their downfall wasn't random? What if there's a predictable pattern, a seven-stage cycle of collapse that repeats itself time and time again? Today, we're going to explore this fascinating and frankly unsettling theory and see where today's global powers might fit into this historical timeline. Let's start with stage one, the rise of a new order. This is the beginning. A group of people, often united by a shared culture, belief, or ambition, comes together. They innovate, they build, and they establish a new, more efficient system. Think of early Rome, transitioning from a small city-state into a republic, or the early American colonists forging a new nation out of a shared desire for freedom. This stage is all about creation, energy, and a powerful sense of shared purpose. It's the birth of a future empire, full of promise and potential. Next comes stage two, the golden age. This is when everything just works. The systems created in stage one are now mature. The economy is booming, culture is flourishing, and the nation is a dominant force on the world stage. Think of the Pax Romana, a period of unprecedented peace and prosperity across the Roman Empire, or the height of the Spanish Empire in the 16th century with its vast global territories and immense wealth from the New World, or even Britain during the Victorian era, the workshop of the world, with an empire on which the sun never set. This is the peak, a time of confidence and strength. But this golden age always plants the seeds of its own destruction, which leads us to stage three, the seeds of division. As the empire becomes incredibly wealthy and powerful, society starts to change. The shared purpose that once united everyone begins to fray. A new generation is born into prosperity without the memory of the struggles that built the nation. They take the wealth for granted. Class divisions deepen. The gap between the super rich and the poor widens. Political debates become more polarized and less about solving problems. It's the beginning of the end of unity. From division, we move to stage four, the age of excess. With so much wealth and so little shared purpose, the focus shifts inward towards personal gain and pleasure. The ruling class often becomes decadent, more concerned with luxury and entertainment than with governing. Think of the late Roman emperors, known for their lavish parties and political intrigue. Public works and long-term investments are neglected in favor of short-term gratification. The military might still look strong on the outside, but the internal social fabric is rotting away. People start losing faith in their institutions and their leaders. This brings us to stage five, the point of no return. This is the critical stage, the moment the empire loses its ability to self-correct. The problems that started in stage three and festered in stage four have now become institutionalized. The political system is gridlocked. The economy is often burdened by massive debt taken on to pay for wars and social programs without the will to raise taxes or make hard choices. The culture becomes deeply fractured, with different groups seeing each other not as fellow citizens, but as enemies. At this point, even if some people recognize the danger, the system itself is too rigid and broken to change course. Take the Soviet Union, for example. By the 1980s, its command economy was a disaster. Its political system was corrupt and stagnant. The people had lost all faith in the communist ideal. Despite Mikhail Gorbachev's attempts at reform with glasnost and perestroika, the system was too brittle. It had passed the point of no return. The internal contradictions were too great, and the empire was set for collapse. Similarly, look at the Spanish Empire. Massive inflation caused by New World silver, constant expensive wars, and an inability to modernize its economy pushed it past its breaking point. This is the stage where many analysts today place the United States. They point to extreme political polarization, staggering national debt, a declining industrial base, and deep cultural divides over fundamental values. They argue that the system seems incapable of addressing its biggest challenges, from infrastructure and healthcare to national unity. The debate is no longer about the best way forward, but a battle for the soul of the nation itself. This is the hallmark of stage five. Once this point is passed, stage six arrives, the Great Fall. This is when the collapse accelerates. The symptoms that were once manageable become catastrophic. The economy craters, perhaps through hyperinflation or a debt crisis. The government loses its legitimacy and can no longer maintain order. The military, once a symbol of national power, may find itself overstretched, underfunded, or even involved in internal conflicts. Trust in everything collapses. This is the stage of chaos, where the old order is visibly and rapidly disintegrating. The fall of the Western Roman Empire in 476 AD is the classic example, but you also see it in the rapid implosion of the Soviet Union in 1991. Finally, we arrive at stage seven, the aftermath. The old empire is gone. What's left is a fractured landscape. new, smaller states emerge from the wreckage, often fighting over the remnants of the old territory. A period of darkness and instability, often called a dark age, can follow. But it's also a period of rebirth. From the ashes of the old, new cultures and new orders eventually rise, and the cycle begins all over again. The fall of Rome gave rise to the various kingdoms that would eventually become modern Europe. So, where does this leave us? This 7-stage pattern isn't a prophecy, it's a warning. It's a historical model that shows how success can breed failure, and how the very things that make a nation great can, if left unchecked, lead to its undoing. It highlights the importance of shared purpose, responsible leadership, and the ability to adapt and reform. The question for us today is not to panic, but to understand. By recognizing these patterns in the past, we might just have a chance to avoid them in the future. Are we doomed to repeat the mistakes of Rome, Spain, and the Soviet Union? Or can we learn from their history, acknowledge the challenges we face, and find a way to forge a different path? The answer to that question is not written in any history book. It's being written by us, right now. It's a choice we make every single day. Thanks for watching. If you found this historical perspective thought-provoking, please hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the patterns that shape our world. Let me know in the comments which stage you think different countries are in today. Stay curious.